Good morning. I forgot to film our just use it up breakfast. We've been getting a lot of eggs from our chickens, which has been really great lately because as you all know, the prices of eggs in the store are astronomical right now. I also had about a half a loaf of my sourdough light bread left, so I just made egg in a hole. You know, you cut a little center out, butter it up, and fry it on both sides. Really yummy. One thing that we have found is that you can actually make scrambled egg in a hole as well. I choose the smallest egg so it doesn't overflow too much, but that works great too. Maria has been really liking scrambled egg in a hole. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I have some of this chicken base that I canned up, and I also have some chicken broth here, or chicken stock that I canned up, and I pulled out some carrot, celery, onion. I don't know if I'm going to need any extra, but I'm going to open all of this up and make some chicken noodle soup. Get it seasoned up and just see how, I mean, this is only going to make like 3 quarts. I think I'm going to want to make more than that, so I may add some more things to it. But anyway, that is going to be our, like a little bit later, we're going to have lunch. But I'm going to put this together. One thing I like to do with these noodles is to break them up just a little bit, because sometimes the noodles can be like 3-4 inches long, and when you're trying to serve that as soup, that can get a little drippy and messy. So I just come through and just kind of break them just a little so they're more like 1-inch pieces. That seems to just work a little bit better for the spoon. Good. How are you doing? Another day. No. So to be honest, this is the first time that I've used my chicken base. I canned it up and then it's been sitting on the shelves and I haven't opened a single jar. When I opened it, I tasted it and it tastes, I mean the like broth tastes amazing. I'm gonna have to figure out, I think I got the recipe from Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch that video again, because I'm pretty sure I didn't write anything down. I know myself and I wouldn't have written anything down. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that video and write it down because it's very flavorful. So 2 jars of that, 1 jar of stock, a few tablespoons of butter in here. I always like to add a little bit of butter to chicken noodle soup, especially if it's been made with chicken breast. There just isn't enough fat in the chicken breast. And then I used a whole nother jar of, like a whole nother quart of just plain tap water, and then I rinsed both of the chicken base jars. I put a couple of inches of water in and, you know, swirled it around to really get all of the seasonings out of the bottom of that. And I'm going to taste this in a little bit here. Actually, I'll just taste it right now. Flavorful, needs more seasoning though. So I'm going to put in some more salt and some pepper, put in a little bit of parsley flakes. I have my water coming to a boil over here. I have gone back and forth over the years with just adding the noodles right to my boiling soup. I'd say I'd give it mixed reviews. I'm just going to boil up my noodles separate, drain them, and then I'll add them to the soup. I'm going to put all of this away. I thought I was going to be needing to add more to it, but we're just going to put all that away, and that can be for another pot of soup on another day.
Maybe going sledding down a 4-wheeler today.
Oh, okay.
So,
Who's got that going on? Noodles are all done. I'm getting them into the soup, which I have already brought to a boil. And now, and everything is like broke up. I broke up the chicken, which wants to kind of stick together in the canning process. I cooked the noodles like even 1 step below al dente. You know, I know that they're going to absorb a little bit of the water from the soup. I didn't want them to get too bloated. At this point, I wanted to use up some of my sourdough. It was nice and active and bubbly in there. And so I had been wanting to try Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. I had been wanting to try her sourdough cinnamon roll recipe. So I'm doing that. On her blog, she does have the option to do a ×1, 2, or 3. It'll like automatically calculate that out for you. I'm just doing a ×1, which is only supposed to make 12 cinnamon rolls. I just want to try it. you know, you want to try it. I put into the bowl here a half a cup bubbly active sourdough starter, a half a cup of water, 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I just melted, got a lot going on over here. I just melted some coconut oil. You know what? I should probably go down and read the directions. Combine the sourdough starter, the flour, the honey, the water, the eggs, and the oil, and mix together until glossy or passes the window pane test. Okay, so let's go back up and get all that stuff. Did it say eggs? Shoot. Yes. All right, so we're going to get the coconut oil in there. And I need a half a cup of honey, a couple of eggs. All right, this was completely an oversight on my part. I read 20 minutes prep and 25 minutes cook time, and I was thinking, oh, in about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, because I knew I'd have to roll them out and all that kind of thing and make the filling and everything. I thought, oh, we'll have cinnamon rolls. Guess what? No way. This has to sit overnight for 12 hours or for 12 hours. So now that takes me to like midnight tonight. We're gonna make it work. Not sure really how well though. Okay, it's getting better. All right, I'm going to say this is done. At this point, I'm going to put saran wrap on here tightly, and I'm going to refrigerate it. No, I'm not going to refrigerate it. Let me just double check, you guys. Place the dough in a lightly oiled bowl and cover the dough with a beeswax wrap or plastic wrap. Okay, so I'm not going to leave it in here, and I'm going to allow it to rest in a warm place 8 to 12 hours. Coconut oil, and I'm just going to smear it all over this bowl. I don't want any of this dough to be left behind. Joe's watching his favorite, what do you call that? His favorite obsession right now in the background, which is, I believe this is Chipmunk's Squeakquels, or the Squeakquel, that movie. So you can probably hear that. It's just ending right now. And as soon as I'm done with this and I get this covered, it's time to go do my taxes. I've been procrastinating it all day. It's like, oh, should I make chicken noodle soup for lunch? Oh, should I make cinnamon rolls? Yes, yes, I should. Warren already has the cranberry business taxes done and our personal taxes. And he's just waiting for me for a country life taxes to get everything turned into our accountant.
So I got you a spoon.
Oh, I got spoons out here already.
Joe, you want help? Yes, please. Sir.
I am finally getting back to my cinnamon rolls here. I should have done this around 9 o'clock last night, but yesterday I ended up crunching all the numbers for taxes and printing receipts and all the things that I didn't do throughout the year. So anyway, I didn't get that done. I started about noon, did take a break for supper, but didn't get that done till after 9 o'clock. And I was like, I'm not going to worry about cinnamon roll dough at this time. So I am happy to see that it has expanded hugely, hugely. At this point now, I need to put it back into the KitchenAid with a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of salt, and get that mixed. I think I'm supposed to mix it for 5 minutes. Let me just see. Yes, for about 5 minutes. Right, these were surprisingly easy to roll and slice, so 12 of them in a large cast iron. I have my oven set to 375 degrees. It's almost there, and then I'm going to bake these, I think, 25 minutes.
You didn't expect it? Okay, got it. That's why you see it's big.
Eager egg here, and I'm excited to put this.
Like footsteps?
With little peeps.
As these were baking, I just was reading through the 1,620 comments that were left on this recipe, and a number of people were saying that they were still gooey in the center. I feel like they're good. I made sure that I baked them the full 25 minutes. They're supposed to cool. It says a little bit, so I don't really know what that means, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then I did make the frosting, and I put it in the fridge so that it could kind of cool, or maybe I thought maybe it would set up, because it's a real runny frosting. Now, I did see her video at one point quite a while back, and I do recall her frosting being very runny like this too. So I'm not sure. A few people did mention that they make their own frosting, a different recipe, and I'm kind of wondering, we're going to go with it this first time, but I am kind of wondering if maybe, next time I'll do my traditional cream cheese frosting.
Cinnamon rolls, I give a 5.
Yeah. I really liked them. I couldn't taste any of the sourdough flavor. I thought it was really good. I would give it an 8.
Probably a 4. I just like regular cinnamon rolls better.
I thought that they were all right. I mean, I would eat them for sure. I did. I would probably give them a 6. And there's a couple things. So for me, when it was like the dough, since it is sourdough, I don't taste any sourdoughness to it at all. But you add in that baking soda and baking powder, and I don't know, there's just something about the texture that it gives to the dough or something. And then the frosting, I think I would prefer to have just like regular cream cheese frosting, not where it was all melted on the stove. Although, you like that too?
Yeah, I like that.
Although, at first it looked very, very, very runny, but it's like the cinnamon rolls do absorb that, and now they're really, if you scooped out this one, at first you had to scoop a whole bunch of the frosting with it, but now it just kind of like soaks right in. The other day, if you remember, I took out a package of venison hamburger and a package of beef hamburger. I can't remember at that point if I said anything that maybe I was thinking of what I'd make with it, but anyway, it's completely thawed now and it's going to cook up really quick. Anyway, I am going to be making some super nachos for the Super Bowl game tonight. It's about 4 pounds of meat, because I believe my venison is 2.5 and the beef is 1.5. So we're going to make a great big pot of super nacho meat, and then we can eat on that for the game. We can eat on it tomorrow. All right, don't mind the dirty windows, but I could not let this go by. Joe, can you see the outfit? Basketball shorts, cowboy boots, a suit coat, a blaze orange hat. Oh, I love him so much. He did not want to go on the snowmobile, or snowmobiles, I guess, with Warren and Peter and Maria, but he happily would shovel. He can keep himself busy shoveling for like an hour or more. He will go around and just shovel and shovel and shovel. And I said, don't you want to put snow pants on? It's only 20 degrees. But he's one of those hot-blooded Wisconsin teenagers. This is a really forgiving recipe, so I will put my recipe in the description box, written out for you guys. It really calls for 1 pound of ground meat, 1 onion, 1 can refried beans, 1 jar of salsa, and then some shredded cheese, chili powder, and salt. Now, I kind of just play with it depending on what I have. So like I only had 1 can of refried beans. I have in the past put like pinto beans in here, but actually my family prefers it if they cannot see the beans and they don't even know that they're in here. Chili beans are really good in here. Pinto beans are really good in here. I mean, honestly, if you are a bean loving family, any kind of beans would be good in here if you did not have enough cans of refried beans. So today it's just 1 can for all of this meat, which isn't very much. I also brought up a couple of jars of salsa. I'm getting down. I have 1 more jar and one more pint and 1 more half pint of salsa. And so, you know, I'm supposed to put in an entire jar per pound, but I just can't do that. I don't want to use up all that salsa today. So 2 jars of salsa are going in, and that's going to be everything. I'll give it a taste and see if I need to add a little bit more salt. We're going to go with just a half a jar right now. And then I'll have some for people to put on top if they want to do that. All right, that's really good. Put the cover on. I'm going to let that stay on warm on low for a little while. It's still about 45 minutes to the Super Bowl, but we were all hungry. We had cinnamon rolls earlier today. No eggs, no sausage, nothing. So everybody's very hungry. This is how I like to serve it up. Warren likes to put his all in a bowl and then put his chips over there. And I don't know what Joe's going to do. But anyway, this is our super nachos and some of the fixings here. I guess that's what Joe likes to do right there, huh? Mm-hmm. I hear some chocolate syrup. I hear chocolate milk happening over here. Yum.